Good morning, world. I am Judy, your web-based therapist, making therapy accessible and convenient for our clients in Florida and New York, and of course, sharing information worldwide. Today, I want to talk about 5 tips for helping us build healthier coping skills. Coping skills are the things, the tools in our toolbox that help us manage and deal with the many different experiences, especially the not so pleasant experiences that happen in a person's life. And we know that there are quite a few of those in life. But sometimes it's how you manage them, how you learn the coping skills that you have to help you manage those life events that determine how you proceed, how you move forward in the future. So today we want to talk about things that you can do to help you build stronger, healthier coping skills. But before I get into that, I want to take a quick moment and say, if you are subscribed, thank you so very much for being a part of this world of awesomeness of ours. And if you are not yet subscribed, please click the subscribe button below so that you can join our awesome world. And remember to tick the bell so that you are notified when I post new videos so you don't miss anything. And of course, if you'd like to purchase 1 or 3 of my books, there's also a link below that will take you to a site that shows you your different options for getting 1 or 3 of my books. Okay, let me get back to it. The first thing is to take the time to learn about your stressors. A lot of times we struggle or we do not cope well with the things that are in our environment because sometimes we don't even realize what the things are that are causing stress in our lives. So take the time to learn about that. Learn what the issues or the persistent issues that are causing stress in your life. Whatever it is that are sources of stress in your life, it's important to take the time and realize what are those events in life that are causing you or leading to you to experience greater levels of stress. And sometimes it goes beyond stress. Sometimes it goes into depression and a host of other things. So taking the time to learn what the stressors in your life are and learn what will help you start building you'll start knowing, okay, these are the things that are impacting me so that you can start putting together a plan for addressing these stressors. Because when you have a plan, you're more likely to respond effectively when the stressors are triggered, when the stressors are activated, because you already know. You don't just naturally you don't react, but you respond. 2, learn to ask for help. That's one of the more difficult things because, the society teaches us that we need to be self-reliant, we need to be resilient, we need to be this, we need to be that. We need to ask for help. Yes, we're part of a community is that we should have the support, the access to a community to help us to deal with certain things that we experience. So making sure that you learn to ask for help. It's not weakness. It's not a burden to ask someone to help you. And sometimes you need to ask for help from a professional, and that's okay too, regardless of who it is that you need to ask for help with. And, some people even have trouble asking their own families for help. So sometimes you'll hear people complain about the level of stress, the level of this, that, and the other that they experience at home or at work. And you're thinking, okay, you have 4 or 5 other people that live in the house. What are they helping? No, I can't ask them because they have XYZ. You have a whole team at work. Well, they have XYZ. I can't ask them. No, we need to learn to ask for help. This idea that we need to be, a one-man island or an army of, no, we have support. We have a whole team. We have a whole support network that is available to help us and that can help us. So we need to learn and get comfortable asking for help because when we're able to ask for help, that's how we start to learn, okay, these are the tools that are available to me. These are the resources that are available to me. These are the things that could help me, manage all these things that I've been trying to shoulder by myself all these years. 3, focus on solutions. It's great to acknowledge and understand and see and know, hey, these are the issues. These are the things that exist. These are the problems. Yes. Once you figure out what the problems are, you need to start focusing on solutions. When we start dwelling on the problem, all we can see is the problem. All we see is how the problem impacts us. But seeing how the problem impacts us does not always solve the problem. We need to start focusing on solutions. Once you identify a stressor, the next step is to identify ways and tools and tips and putting together a plan of what are we going to do to address and mitigate this stress in my life? What are we going to do to prevent this stressor from being triggered or being activated? So focus on solutions. Whenever when you identify a source of stress, the next thing you need to be doing is identify the ways that you can mitigate that stress and then figure out, okay, let's put this in a plan so that next time this stressor is activated, I know exactly how to respond so I don't find myself reacting to it. 4, make time to learn and practice good habits. Yes, we're a reactionary type society. We wait until something happened and then we have a reaction. Sometimes that reaction is helpful and good, and sometimes that reaction kind of band-aids the problem and we save it for later. We need to practice good habits. Things like, okay, for stress management, what are your tools other than, a glass of wine? Are you exercising? Are you talking it out? Are you meditating? All these things, all these good habits that can help us relieve and release some of the stress that we experience. We need to start figuring out, okay, which good habits work for me? And we need to make time to practice those good habits so that they can become more of a part of our lives so that they are more natural responses to situations and triggers that may present, so that we're not always going to the more band-aid reactions. Finally, avoid self-medicating. Again, wine is one of those things that we do, or drinking, whether it's drinking or other plant-based things that are, whatever your choice of medication or thing, whatever your chemical choice may be. It's important to avoid those because what that does is it masks the actual issue, but it does not remove it. Alcohol is one of the most commonly used self-medication because, hey, I can drink a few bottles of wine and it feels like, things are okay. I can have a glass of wine and I am loose and I don't think about the problem or the issue that I was experiencing. It's important that we avoid or limit this self-medication because it keeps us from realizing the issues. It keeps us from realizing that, hey, I'm still struggling with this. I'm still experiencing this. And instead of helping us heal and move forward, it just keeps us burying it. We keep burying the issue or stuffing it down to the point where it may grow larger and eventually blow up, or we start needing more of our personal self-medication because as the issue gets stronger, the one glass of wine or the one joint or the one whatever it is or the one pill may no longer be sufficient. So now if you're not fixing the problem, now one pill is not sufficient. So now you got you need 2 pills. One glass of wine is not sufficient. So now you're upgrading to a bottle. So avoid self-medicating because it just keeps putting band-aids on the problem and does not allow us to realize that, hey, I am struggling. Maybe I should, reach out and get help. Okay, so let's do this quick recap. 1, take time to learn about your stressors. It's important to learn the things that are causing stress in your life so that you're, 1, able to be ready for them, as well as make plans to help you deal with them when they are presented. 2, learn to ask for help. There is no badge of honor for being a one-man island. We are part of a community because we need a community, and it is the job of our community to help us and to be there for us. So allow your community to step up and do what they were meant to do. 3, focus on solutions. It's great to know what the problem is. It's important to know what the problem is, but the focus needs to be on the solution. We can't just dwell on, hey, this issue is there because the issue already exists. It's important to focus on finding solutions that resolve the problem and not things to mask the problem. 4, make time to learn and practice good habits. There are things that we do that will temporarily give us a little bit of a reprieve from our problems, but it's when we start learning things that help us manage or eliminate or reduce the stressors in our lives that we can actually start fully moving forward. So make the time to learn what things work for you, what stress relievers work for you, what de-stressors work for you, so that you can start practicing them enough for them to become a part of your regular life. And finally, avoid the self-medicating, because it only makes you feel like it gives you a temporary breath, but it doesn't take away the problem. While you're self-medicating, the problem may be growing, and the medication that you're using, or then your need for medication, will probably also grow, because as the problem gets stronger, the need for medication gets stronger. So what the stress that took one glass of wine over time will start taking 3 glasses, then maybe even a bottle. So instead, avoid self-medicating so that you're able to actually deal with and address the issues as they're being presented. As always, if you or someone you know happens to be going through something that's more than you can handle, please remember that there are professionals like myself who are available, able, and willing to help, and are even providing remote services who can assist with whatever you may have going on. So please figure out who those people are in your community so that if you need them, you can reach out and get the help that you need. And that is all we have for today. Good morning, world. Have an awesome day.